Good morning. So, excuse my haggard look. I just thought I'd share it with you guys. The preparations I've been doing because we're expecting a typhoon. Yes, in the middle of summer in April. Although the current forecast is saying it's not gonna impact any parts of the country. Also specifically here in Legazpi and Albay. But forecasts changed. So I just want to make sure I'm as ready as possible. Especially because a lot of my plants are currently outdoors. So I thought I'd just share with you guys, what I did to prepare my plants. So I'll just change the camera view so that I'd be able to share that with you. Okay. Okay, so let's start on this side. So this plant stand is right across our door, and there's a table in front where most of the plants I'm propagating are currently at. So most of them are photos. I also have a couple of peperomias there, and this plant stand is where I have my philodendrons, and of course my deliciosa is there as well. So this part of the garden is protected by this part of the roof slab. How do you call that? Roof. Okay, whatever. So I'm not really worried. They don't really get as much rain or water when it rains, but I think it's just gonna be a different story if there's gonna be strong winds. But let's just hope it doesn't that doesn't happen. So also this part of the window is where I have the plants that I also transitioned to Leca a couple of weeks ago, but are outside. So, and then my smaller nerve plants, the phytonias, and this plant stand for the most part has my prayer plants, mine and my sister's. So mostly calathea, stroma, and timaranta. Although I have some aglaus here as well, and also scindapsus on this side, and Cebu blue photos. But again, for the most part, this is where most of my prayer plants are. And also this, even this plant stand, up until the very the bottom layer is still protected by that part of the roof, so they should be okay there. Now this is where most of this is where I've changed quite a bit in preparation. This plant stand is where my alocasias and I forgot, anthuriums are at. So again, also didn't really change a lot there, as it is. I also have my Hoya compacta in the rope, Puibicalix, and some lipstick plant here. And on this side is where I have my very big Dark Lord, Philodendron Dark Lord. So what I changed here is this plants, the Sabrina, the Dieffenbachia, and then the rest of those plants, that begonia, they used to be lined up here. Yeah, but this part actually gets a lot of water because of the space between that part of the roof and the net. So water drips pretty hard on this part. So if there are plants there, they tend to drown in water. So that's why I have to move them here, especially if it's gonna rain continuously for more than 24 hours. And if the water hits the leaves, then it might cause some damage. So that's what I did. I moved them on this part just to be safe. And this plant stand has the rest of my aglaus, also some philodendrons, Moonlight, Birkin, there's a gloriosum there. I also have a juvenile Monstera deliciosa, and then peace lily that's currently flowering. And also rubber trees, so rubber plants, I'm sorry. So burgundy, lemon lime, and then my smaller Tineki. And this big guy, my Monstera adansonii, I just moved this here. He used to be somewhere there. Sorry for the mess. And also this Dark Majesty is also in front of the propagating table, but I moved because it also gets the same the same water drips from that part of the roof, between the roof and the net. So I moved them there. So, but for the most part, the entire garden outside is covered by this net that we installed after Quinta and Rolly, Typhoon Quinta and Rolly last year. Before that one, we used to have that black net there, but we replaced with something a little bit sturdier and also filters rain and sun more than the other one before, I think. And then of course my photos and the alocasia that I salvaged a few months ago. So that's the current setup, hoping that they're gonna be okay and that the preparations are good enough to keep them safe. And then going to the other side of the garden, the messier side. So this is my most neglected part of the garden because my more forgiving plants are here. Snake plants, cacti, succulents, and then my Hoyas. So for the Hoya, I'm planning to do a Hoya corner, but that's gonna be a future project. So what I just did is I placed them in a bigger pot and then the rest in this tray. So in any case, we have to move them somewhere else or inside or in a safer place. Then we'll be able to bring as many plants as possible at the same time. So that's the reason why I just placed them in this tray, and then some of the succulents. And also I have some Mayana Coleus here, which are also in this tray for the same reasons. And then burley marks, my sister's Calathea, my angel wing polka dot begonia, and then an aglaw that my sister just recently got as well. And then this side where I have my syngonium corner, I don't know if you can see, but yeah, if ever, we'll probably just bring them down on the floor if it gets too windy. But if it's just gonna be rain, I think they'd appreciate some rain, especially after a couple of days when it's been very hot. So, and then this part is where the rest of my Mayanas Coleus are, but obviously for this one there's no moving them because they're on this cement pot. So yeah, let's just hope they're gonna be okay there. So and then lastly, the last plant stand right beside the gate, but it's still quite covered by the garden net. It's where my sister's plants are. So she has, but the spider plant is mine. I've had it for like a couple of months already. And then so her aglaw, rattlesnake, and then the peperomia I gave her, her Ruby Barba, I just can't remember the name. Then yeah, so mostly her plants there. And then this very dirty succulent cacti garden that I did a couple of weeks ago. And everything here is a work in progress. So, and then again, the rest of my sister's plant here, Gomamela, and then her lemon lime, then temptation, and then her heartleaf philodendron. And also this is her plants as well. So her white onyamani, mint, I also placed them in this tray. So again, for the same reason, just in case we move them somewhere else and we can move them all together at the same time. So yeah, and lastly we have this we also have this garden table with the umbrella. There are just few plants there. The basil that I'm gonna show you, Joy gave me, and then my alocasia albo. I actually just repotted this from a regular soil mix to this aroids mix because she started to get this brown leaves. So I was afraid I was overwatering or the soil was not well draining, so I just repotted her in this aroid mix. That's why she's here. And I also have this marble queen and Leka that is here because I need to change her current setup. She's not getting the nutrient water this way. But anyways, yeah, and then my orchids. So, but if ever it gets too windy, we'll probably have to get this umbrella out of there, and of course remove the plants that are on the table and move them somewhere else. But yeah, that's just the current setup there. Okay. uh and sorry, I have to show you Jason and Christina because they will be moving inside as well, maybe tonight, just in case it starts to rain pretty hard tonight, so they'd be safer inside. So yes, that's mostly the current setup, and let's just hope and pray that the typhoon stays with the current trajectory and doesn't hit any parts of the country, doesn't get it doesn't, we're currently under signal number 1 already, but it's not raining yet. It's still quite sunny, but it's also not good if it's too hot, because usually it's followed by some heavy rains. But anyways, I'm hoping that we don't get hit as much. It's summer, it's not supposed to rain, but let's just prepare as much as we could as well. So thank you guys, stay safe, stay dry, bye bye.